Hey you guys, we are getting near the end of our argumentative essays or our argumentative letters. And today we are going to take a moment and we're going to redraft to add even more evidence. You're going to see what it's all about here in a second. So let's get ready. I'm not going to lie to you, writing an argumentative letter with evidence is challenging work, but this is what great writers are able to do. Your first draft that you did probably isn't your best draft, and I've been hearing that from a lot of you, which is very normal. That's why writers write more than one draft. We write multiple drafts. You'll want to reread your first draft, right? Reread that draft and decide what parts of it work and what parts of it don't work. You guys are aware, now that you've been doing this for a while, that what parts of your letter are really weak and what parts of it are really strong. And then plan and write another draft. That's the key. To go back and be honest with yourself about your writing, what works, what doesn't work, and then creating a plan to be able to rewrite your letter to make it even stronger. So at this point, I'm sure you're all thinking, well, that's great, Mr. Saraceni, wonderful idea. How do I go about doing it since I have all this information in my mind? Very simple. You have to come to the realization, you guys, that your new draft is going to be very similar to your old draft, right? But the difference is that you have a lot of new evidence. You have a lot of new thoughts. You have read a lot more about it. And you can now fit that new evidence in with your new thinking. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go back to your very first paragraph, your thesis, your reason for choosing that argument. And you're going to start off by rewriting that claim. And you're going to rethink the reasons for it to make sure that they're all really strong. We started off with 3 reasons for our claim. Maybe now you'll come up with a 4th one. That's the challenge. I want to see 4 reasons. So if you go back to my example for chocolate milk, I said that the reason why I think chocolate milk should be allowed in schools is because it is a great post-workout drink. It is low in sugar. And it's a tasty treat, okay? I may add in a 4th reason and sit there and say, and another reason is because it has the same 9 essential vitamins as does regular milk. That would be my 4th reason. I may even go back and look at my thesis and say, you know what? I don't like the tasty treat one and replace it with something else. It's okay at this point to be honest with yourself. Your claims will always be better. The ones in the beginning, your thesis, your reason for choosing your argument, they're always going to be better if they're bold and clear. That means strong and clear. They have to be clearly understood by the reader. And then figure out exactly what you have to say. That's the key. Knowing what you have to say before you actually go ahead and say it. And then think ahead to the body of your essay about the evidence that you're going to include. That's also going to go hand in hand with your claim. And then write with the whole letter in your mind. You know, a lot of times when I'm practicing teaching a lesson, I will go over the lesson in my mind, almost like imagining you guys being in front of me and me being in front of you, and I'm teaching you the lesson. What am I going to say? How am I going to act? And then the last and most important reason is make sure you have the goods to support your claim. These are the supporting details. These give your reasons legs. These give your letters strength and credibility, which is what you really want to have. So those strong details really matter. And then ultimately what you want to do is you want to plan out your reasons. These are your supporting details. This is what's going to give your letter credibility. This, to me, is probably one of the most important aspects of the entire letter. So how do you go about doing it? I think the first thing you should do is you should look at your thesis and your 4 reasons now that you have in your thesis. And you can put them into a mind map or a sticky note. And you can have each reason in your thesis being a category. So for example, if I was doing chocolate milk, I said it's a great post-workout drink. That would be one sticky note or one part of my mind map. And then it's a tasty treat would be a second one, a new category or a new part of my mind map. And then any evidence or supporting details that I have to prove that, I would just list underneath that. So I can sit there and say that, chocolate milk is a great post-workout drink because it's loaded with good carbohydrates that will help re-energize your body. I would list that right underneath that it's a great post-workout drink. That way I can visually see my supporting details that will support my thesis. It's a great visual. And then I want to go ahead and I want to rethink or revise what order they are in. I always say that when it comes to your supporting details, you put your strongest one last, because you're going to leave that impression with your reader. The last thing you say should be the most important, because that's going to stay with them. Your weakest one, that you feel is your weakest one, you should put first, because then as the reader reads on, your reasons are going to get stronger, and that's what's going to stay with them. I know in my document it says the same thing, save the most important for last and put the most important first. The weakest one you feel goes first, the strongest one goes last. And then take a few moments to sort your reasons and evidence. Again, this is just putting it in order for you. Very important thing to do. This page would probably be a great page to screenshot so you have it as a visual. And the reason why is because this shows you what the body paragraphs how they often look. And this is just a great visual for you. So this right here would be one paragraph. As you can see, it says reason 1. This is the first reason in my thesis to support my argument. And it says that one reason, and then I restate my thesis, is that, and then ... And then you can see I use these transition words. For example, comma, here's one of my supporting details. Also, comma, here's another supporting detail. And in addition to those, comma, here's my last and most important reason. That would be one paragraph. And then you would repeat it. Paragraph 2. Another reason why chocolate milk is a tasty treat is that, for example, evident or supporting detail number 1, my weakest one. Also, comma, supporting detail number 2. In addition, comma, my strongest supporting detail, 3rd. And then I would do the same thing for my 3rd and final paragraph. This is how a body of the essay should go. Don't forget, you want to still include those quotes and an explanation of each one of your supporting details in each one of those paragraphs. Now, I know that was a lot of information being thrown at you in a quick amount of time, but now it's time to redraft. Get out some paper, reorganize your thoughts, reorganize your writing, find that 4th reason for your argument, put it into your thesis, and then go ahead and create your letter and make it strong. Lay out your research, plan it, rehearse it, add more evidence, quotes, and most importantly, those transition words. I included some in this video, but don't forget, we also have that poster in Schoology that lays out a ton of transition words that will help you incorporate your evidence. All that will take your writing to the next level and make sure that you have an incredible piece of writing that's really strong and very credible. Good luck in your writing. Submit everything to the Standard Based Grading Dropbox. I can't wait to see the stuff you guys have been coming up with.